I'm Aisha Butler, co-founder and president of the Resident Association of Greater Englewood, also known as R.A.G.E. Thank you for tuning in today. We have a very special show as we have not been on the air for quite a while, and we are so happy that you are tuning in to our show tonight. First, we want to talk about just different things about our association and what we've done over the last 5 years. And then also a little bit of background about myself as the president of R.A.G.E. I think we've had a show where we've had several guests, phenomenal members who talked about their backgrounds, their passion, why do they do the work that they do in the Englewood community. And so today I'm going to share just a little bit about myself. But first off, before we get there, I just want to give you just a little bit of brief information about R.A.G.E. and how you can follow us when we're not on CANTV. So we are also on social media, which you can follow us either on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're also using Periscope, YouTube, tons of ways to keep in contact and be in the know and updated with R.A.G.E. As well as our website. You can always go to rageenglewood.org, or you can call us at our number at 866-845-1032, or email us at any time at joinrage@gmail.com. As we said before, I'm going to talk today about our 5-year impact report. We recently released it in the beginning of 2016, but before we talk and dive into that topic, I'm going to talk a little bit about who I am, how did I start this work, and kind of how did we even begin the start of R.A.G.E. and founded R.A.G.E. R.A.G.E. has been around now for about 5 years, but it was a lot of the work that happened prior to R.A.G.E. That really started my journey. So, some people know me very fondly as Miss Englewood. I have a blog spot, which is missenglewoodblogspot.com, and I'm just going to share a little bit about my story. So I'm a resident of Englewood, which is, as you all know, in Chicago, which most people consider probably the worst area to live in. I probably was like many of you viewers who was ready to leave my community. It was at a point where a bullet went through my home. Someone broke into my house, and I was just ready to go. But before I actually was going to move, and I was going to move to Atlanta, Georgia, this had to be about 2007. And I kind of looked across the street at this vacant lot that was directly across the street from my home, and saw these kids there playing with dirt and playing with rocks. And I just thought, what can I do myself in the community to help out? I had no clue where to start. I didn't know where I can volunteer. I didn't know what I could do. So I literally just looked online and just Googled, how do you volunteer in Englewood? Even though I've lived there my whole life, I've been in Englewood since I was 17, I bought my first home in Englewood, I still didn't know, how do I help my community? What do I do? So I started volunteering. And I had a great time volunteering with many of the organizations in the community. I met some phenomenal people, and then I started being invited to all these different, I would say, tables that was talking about the future of Englewood. What I noticed that a lot of those tables was that no residents were there. It was only myself and most likely executive directors of nonprofits or the people from the city or the government, but it was no resident voice. So as I was doing that, I met a few other organizations who were doing some work with some young people. And what I noticed is that a lot of our people who were running the organizations in Englewood actually were older and did not know how to reach our millenniums. So me, my husband, a few other residents from Englewood, we started this project called Docs and Dialogue. What we wanted to do with Docs and Dialogue, as you can see from the screen, is have the provocative movie showings, and we wanted to show documentaries and then have a dialogue. It was a way that I saw that we could bridge the gap between our young people and our elders who really wanted to see our young people succeed, but just not sure how to do it. A lot of folks think if you come into the Englewood community that you're going to be shot, that it's a war zone, or whatever we want to call it. But what we wanted to do with Docs and Dialogue is actually go around to different organizations, different community centers, parks, libraries, anywhere that we could, and show these documentaries and also show that we can have peace within our community. This became a huge phenomenon in the Englewood community, and everyone wanted to know about it, be about it, and join this kind of project that basically us as residents just decided to do so that young people had a safe space in Englewood. From that, so many residents started to come out. So many were teachers, journalists, their local coaches. They were just folks who wanted to do something and help the community. And for some reason, having the movies and the dialogue and the popcorn and just a really fun-filled, peaceful space, people were attracted to that. So we did probably about 20 of those throughout the Englewood community. And as more residents came out of their homes and got involved in this project, I said to them, how do we actually create our own association? How do we do something collectively for the betterment of Englewood? And that was pretty much the start of R.A.G.E. Our first thing that we did was a conference call, and we really just had a conversation about all the different issues that face the community and the fact that everyone lived in so many different wards, because we're divided by 6 different wards. And it was so many people who really wanted to see Englewood thrive for the better. And I know a lot of the viewers out there want to see Englewood transform for the better. So instead of talking, we actually took action. We did a conference call, we got together, and basically we were founded. So a little bit of history about R.A.G.E, but I really hope that you kind of understand how the passion of the president of R.A.G.E really began. So R.A.G.E was founded in November of 2010, and we are a completely resident-driven association. We wanted to get together to really look at the assets in our community and think about how we can work collectively to address some of the community issues. Our mission at R.A.G.E is to basically mobilize people and resources to force change in the community by breaking down barriers in communication and promoting positivity through solution-based approaches. As we all know, if you was to flick the channel right now and turn on the news, you're probably going to hear about the negative things in Englewood. You're going to hear who was shot, who might have been robbed, who might have been stabbed. So we definitely don't want to continue to promote that as an association. So we promote all the positive things happening in the community. We highlight the residents who are doing great work in the community. And if you just look online at any of our social media sites, you'll see tons of pictures, events, and everything that's really talking about another truth of Englewood. And that has always been the heartbeat of R.A.G.E since the beginning, because we were just so tired of this negative narrative that is constantly what we hear everywhere we go. How do you really reach R.A.G.E? Well, we have village meetings every other month on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. Our next village meeting is on May 17th at the 7th District Community Room, right off of 63rd and Loomis. Then we meet again July 19th, and then September 20th, and November 15th. Again, if you go to our website, we update our website on a regular basis, so you will see our village meetings updated there. And then who are the members of R.A.G.E? This is what we were talking about before. Our members are really residents who reside in all the 6 wards that you see on your screen. And then we also have non-members, non-residents who also support our mission and support the work that R.A.G.E do. So our membership is pretty much open to everyone. So I do want to talk a little bit about our 5-year impact report. Being that we are a grassroots association, we have never received funding from any foundation or from the city or from the government. We've basically used our assets to accomplish things in the Englewood community. Some people want to talk, and R.A.G.E takes action. And this year we were so excited that we were able to release our 5-year impact report to really see, have we made an impact in the last 5 years. We actually have some of these printed off, so if you join R.A.G.E, you can actually see many of the you actually get a copy, a physical copy of this report. And if you're interested in getting a copy, you could just let us know and we will get that out to you. We're just going to talk about what our focus areas are. We can't really know if we're having an impact if we're not sure exactly what we want to focus on. So what we did was really think about what was really important to our members and what was important to our community that can make an impact. And these were the three focus areas that we decided upon. That was education and youth development, economic development, and civic engagement and empowerment. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that civic engagement and empowerment because even when I was volunteering at many of the organizations in the community, no one was working to empower the residents of Englewood. They wanted to provide services, they wanted to give them things, or either make them, if it was for a home, they wouldn't teach you how to buy a home, but they would have services if you were a renter. Or they would have services for our the most of the population that really is struggling, which is okay. But the problem is that once people constantly become consumers of services, they never will feel empowered to take back their community. So R.A.G.E is in the business of empowerment, and it's not many organizations that I've seen through this work that is really advocating for empowerment and really giving residents information that they can use to take action. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the numbers. What did we do in the last 5 years? So in the last 5 years, and you probably just see the numbers because the writing is really small, but you can also download this entire impact report on our website at rageenglewood.org. And you can always call us to request one at 866-845-1032. So in the last 5 years, we have held 30 village meetings in the greater Englewood community. Now this has been all over greater Englewood, which includes Englewood and West Englewood. And they're basically bi-monthly village meetings to discuss current events in the community. We share information, we fellowship with each other, and members and residents in general basically build together from a lot of our village meetings. We've hosted 6 political forums. As you know, we have over 6 automatic wards in our community. So when we were first founded, one of our goals was to actually have a candidate forum so that we could reach the actual candidates and know what their platform was and how they would advocate for Englewood moving forward. Since then, we've done a mayoral forum as well as 5 more automatic forums in our last year. We registered up to 150 voters. Of course, we want this number to be much higher. I'm thinking about our numbers in Englewood and what our voter turnout is. But as a volunteer association with so many people who work full-time and not being able to do this full-time, we were proud that we were able to at least get 150 new registered voters in the greater Englewood community. We have held over 15 workshops. These are typically free educational workshops that addresses a variety of different issues. They might be around the TIF, they might be a youth workshop, several different things that we've done there, and that number continues to grow. And then you see the big 20 there. So we've held 20 So Fresh Saturday events. We'll talk a little bit more about So Fresh Saturday, but this is basically where we take over the park in the name of peace and have resources and family fun for all ages in the parks of Englewood. As you know, most people feel some type of way about going into the parks in our community. They feel like this is a war zone. This is where the game bangers hang out. But on the days that R.A.G.E holds So Fresh Saturday, nothing like that is happening. We want to make sure that all ages are welcome, from the grandmother to a 2-year-old, and that the entertainment is clean and positive and uplifting. And then there's also resources for residents, information on how to get a job, information for homeowners, information from our CAPS, 7 District CAPS office. So Fresh Saturday is a fun time in the park, but it's also filled with resources and things that really helps the residents within the community. We've donated over 3,000 school supplies to some of the families within the Englewood community. We do a finale at each of our So Fresh Saturday events that has basically been something that we started about 3 years ago and has been really successful thus far. We've led 5 different cleanups. We know a lot of people participate in the Clean and Green initiatives, and we've actually coordinated with other residents, schools, and organizations something that we call Greater Englewood Unity Day. As you can see now, we're on CANTV. We've hosted over 40 CANTV shows. We started this show probably back in 2013 as a way to basically have a platform for Englewood residents. Our live shows will be kicking in very soon where you can actually call in and enjoy the dialogue with us. For now, you can always call us on our hotline number, which is 866-845-1032. And overall, we've reached over 5,000 residents within the Englewood community. And that's basically folks who've either attended our village meetings, our So Fresh Saturday events, our political forums, have been a part of our cleanups, and those numbers are still growing. And how does R.A.G.E work? We work on various action areas that include school partnerships and youth development, leadership in our operations team, our So Fresh Saturdays committee, Englewood Votes, school repurposing work, as well as the Englewood Neighborhood TIF Public Awareness Campaign. These are just a few pictures of our action areas, the way that we work with schools, elementary schools, as well as high schools. This is a couple of photos of So Fresh Saturdays, which is our edutainment series that I was talking about before. That's designed for all ages to reclaim our parks in the name of peace. Please go on our website at rageenglewood.org so you can see when our So Fresh Saturday series will kick off in 2016. Here we are with our action area of Englewood Votes, where we held our political forums as well as went outside, played music, barbecued, and got people registered to vote who really thought they wasn't able to vote. And we've done that every year during the election, and we look forward to really activating this action area in November. These are just areas that we feel that residents of Englewood who want to be involved in the community, these are ways to plug in. You want to help out, you want to do something, you look at all the news and you see that things are going wrong within our community. R.A.G.E is an association that can plug you in, that you could do some work. I was just like you. I was ready to leave. I did not have any connection to the community. I worked, I came in my door, and I left back out. And now that I have started this journey of really helping out my community, it has been extremely rewarding. So I ask that you join R.A.G.E or either join any of the organizations within our community to help with some of the things that are wrong in Englewood. We all know we have issues, and it's just too much to sit back and sit home and watch the news and just feel sorry when you can actually be doing some things. So we'll be wrapping up, but I just want to talk about some of our major accomplishments that we've done. And again, we couldn't have not done this without the work of the residents of Englewood. Do not believe the hype that everyone there is poor or broke or do not care about their community. The residents of Englewood who worked with R.A.G.E helped us accomplish these things in the last 5 years, and we are extremely proud and will always uplift who they are. So if you're watching R.A.G.E members, please know that the work that we do cannot be done without you. One thing that many of you might have heard about was the large lot program. The large lot program was basically something that, R.A.G.E really took from the streets to council. We wanted to see this policy actually pass within government, which would allow homeowners to purchase 1 to 2 lots on their block for $1. Over 300 people purchased lots, and guess what? Just recently, there were grants. We worked with another organization so that homeowners could get grants in order to do art-based work within these lots. So if you did not apply, we hope that more monies will be coming down. We continue to advocate for that. And this is just one of the major accomplishments that R.A.G.E did, which really was in the last 2 years. And just a few more pictures of the large lot. If you haven't heard about it, go on the website and just see when it may be coming back to Englewood. Right now, it's not in Englewood, but it is in some other areas of Chicago. So you can always check largelot.org. As you know, we lost over six schools within the area. As you can see, that's Yale and Bontemps and Wentworth. And what R.A.G.E has been doing is really pushing a conversation about how do we repurpose these spaces to really help our community. And really looking at this problem, which was the closing of the schools, as a way that we can repurpose this to be a solution and possibly get people working and possibly have homes within these schools. We've been doing this since about 2014, since the schools have closed, and we will continue to fight that fight. The pictures here are Bontemps, right there on 58th and Troop. The whole entire school was vandalized. The whole entire school. No plumbing, no electrical. But for us, we still see a vision for the future at that space. Some of the other major accomplishments, of course, is our tax increment financing reform in Englewood. We've pushed this issue and really tried to push the lack of transparency with the tax increment financing. If you are not familiar with this, please go and just Google TIFs in Chicago. And better yet, Google TIFs in Englewood and find out how much money we have in our TIF district and how much are going to developers or actually helping the residents that are helping out. Now, we can have a whole show about TIF, which we have had, but those are just some of the major accomplishments that we've done within the last 5 years and have had a joyride in terms of doing those things. And what's the future of R.A.G.E? I mean, the sky is the limit. We know that we have so many issues within the community that basically our sky is the limit. We just want more residents to be activated and to be more involved. You need to know what's happening within your community, and we want to be a resource for you. We're on CANTV. You can start watching our shows on Thursdays at 7:30 in the evening. We have community forums. We just mentioned we have village meetings every other month. If we're not having a village meeting, it's possibly another event that we're working on. We're in the parks in the summer, so it's no excuse to say, oh, it's the summer, we can't get involved. We're in the parks. Check our website at rageenglewood.org. And if you want to join, go online and complete an application, or either complete one at one of our village meetings. It's rageenglewood.org. And again, just as a reminder, you can always go meet us at our village meetings, which are the third Tuesday every other month, 6 times a year. And our next one is May 17th, and I'll just put this on the screen for you, at the 7 District Community Room at 63rd and Loomis, July 19th, September 20th, and November 15th. Make sure you go on our website and subscribe to our website. Of course, you can always find us on social media. If you're into social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope, we're everywhere. So it's no excuse for you not to find us and work with us. And last but not least, our website again is rageenglewood.org, 866-845-1032. Join rage@gmail.com. And basically, we're just residents who are united to force change within the community. I really thank you all for viewing this show tonight. I hope you learned a little bit more about who I am, what my role is with R.A.G.E, and some of the accomplishments we've had in the last 5 years. Again, you can download our impact report on our website at rageenglewood.org. You can call us at any time at 866-845-1032. Thanks again for viewing, and I'm Aisha Butler. Thank you so much. Have a good night.